All right, we are back reacting to Epic the Musical about 2 hours after I did the Cersei saga because, oh my gosh, I can't wait. This is going to take us to the midpoint, which is a big point in stories. It Midpoints are our transformation moment for a character, and I'm so excited to see what that is. Yes. If you haven't seen my other reactions, go check those out, or just chill out here with me. Credit to this whole fantasy author reacts idea goes out to Beck Leasley. I am a fantasy author. I have been doing this for I've written 7 books, and my debut book is coming soon. It's a fantasy revenge novel about this 9-year-old girl, and it follows her from the ages of 9 to 18, and she systematically tries to get revenge on somebody who destroyed her life. Enough about me. I'm a little flustered. I'm so excited to figure out what's happening. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Friends, Cersei's instructions were clear.
Referring to them as friends.
No matter what we hear, full speed ahead until we find the prophet, my comrades.
Okay, so they're going full speed ahead no matter what they find. This is both a callback to the Full Speed Ahead song, but also narratively, this is setting us up that no matter what happens, there's no coming back from where they're going. This is exactly what you want for a midpoint setup.
This line confuses your mind, so no matter who we find,
who they find.
Full speed ahead until we find the prophet. Good.
Whoa, that's cool. So, Odysseus, his past is finally catching up with him, I think. We'll see.
All I hear are screams.
Yeah.
Every time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who've died. Nothing's what it seems.
Nothing's what it seems.
And here in the underworld, the past seems close behind.
This land confuses your mind.
All he hears is screams every time he dares to close his eyes. He's so broken. Oh, I just hurt for this character. I'm so attached to him. I think he has a lot of unlikable characteristics, like selfishness and stuff, but he's so human, and he's hurting so bad. I went into this musical thinking that it was a love story, but I think it's a trauma story. Oh my gosh.
Nothing's what it seems.
Nothing's what it seems.
And here in the underworld, the past seems close behind.
Yeah.
This land confuses your mind.
He's distressed because the past seems close behind. He's been trying to outrun what he's done this entire musical, and now that we're reaching the midpoint, he's not going to be able to anymore.
When does a man become a monster?
Just a Man callback.
558 men who died under your command.
Oof. And they're all keeping track. The men, they have it tallied exactly how many of their friends have died under his command.
Captain, Captain, Captain.
Oh.
Captain, why would you let the Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy?
All I hear.
Okay. We're okay. That's like Captain. These are their last thoughts, I think. Because these aren't just in his head. It's messing with his mind, but it's not just in his head. He's actually in the underworld. But the fact that they're not expressing a new idea, they're echoing what they've already said, makes me think that these are more snapshots of their final moments that he's being forced to confront. And I don't know Greek mythology, so I don't know if that's right. I just know if I were writing this narratively, that's what I would do. Because this theme, there's been this theme of him outrunning his past and being forced to look directly at his most painful moments, the final moments of his friends. I mean, that's powerful.
Hear our screams every time I dare to close my eyes.
And all the men feel it.
Dream.
Not like he does, but they all feel it.
Of those who died, nothing's what it seems.
That adds weight to when he was awake for 9 days. He wasn't just paranoid, he's scared and he's hurting. When he closes his eyes, he has nightmares. It's haunting him.
Only nightmares
Of those who died, nothing's what it seems.
Nothing's what it seems.
But in the underworld, the past seems close behind.
I keep thinking
Past
of the infant from that night. I keep thinking of the infant from that night.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to ignore the emotional wound that's coming because I think that is Polites. I did not see that. Oh my gosh. I keep thinking from the infant from that night. This is something I've glossed over in my reactions. I think I've underestimated this. I've talked about how influential Polites was and the death of his men, but even though he did ultimately choose to be the one to kill the baby, that traumatized him. Like, that hurt. He saw his son. He was begging, please don't make me do this. And Zeus made him do it. He can't stop thinking about that. That was the initial trauma that set everything in motion. It wasn't Polites. I think I've been wrong about that. I think it's really haunting him. And I don't think I've given that enough credit. All right, Polites.
The infant from that night.
This life is amazing when you greet it with open arms. Whatever we face, we'll be fine if we're leading from the heart. No matter the place, or we can light up the world. Here's how to start. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms.
Okay. So if my theory is right that these are their last thoughts, that's extra powerful because we know that open arms philosophy is what Polites was bringing when he was trying to comfort Odysseus in his hardest moments. And that means back at the cave, when everything was going down, his focus was on Odysseus and basically saying, like, still believe and don't lose hope. That's where his mind was. Oh my gosh. Okay. Great performance delivery on that. You can hear how haunted he is. Who is that?
That voice. It can't be. Mom?
Where did that come from?
Odysseus, when you come home, I'll be waiting.
There's an interesting, really pretty accent on this voice. And I'm not a musician, I can't put it into words. Something about the quality of this voice, like, not saying it's not a good performance, but something feels more raw, and more amateur. Makes it sound like I'm dissing it, and I'm not. Amateur in the sense that not a professional doing this. This sounds... I feel like there might be some significance in the casting to this. Maybe I'm totally off base, though. Maybe he really got Odysseus' mom to voice it. Went back in time and grabbed her. Sorry, I'm making stupid jokes because I'm trying to cope. Oh my gosh. Okay. So seeing his mom is hitting emotionally, if I had to offer one small criticism, it's hitting me emotionally because I think of my relationship with my mom, and I know what it's like to want to... I know what it would be like to see my mom after going through everything that Odysseus has gone through. Or I don't know what that'd be like, but I can imagine. But I feel like this is a strange inclusion at this moment that I imagine makes sense if you know the mythology. But taking this as a self-contained package, I feel like the emotional impact of seeing his mom hasn't had the setup for the payoff to totally be here. And that said, it's still really hitting me. So very small criticism.
Even if you're the last thing I see, I'll be
I'm right here, Mom. Can't you see? I'm waiting. I took too long.
I'll always love you.
And
So her last thoughts were, I'll always love you.
while you were away.
She was a good parent to him, like he hasn't been to Telemachus, and like he really wants to be. He hasn't been able to be because he hasn't been home.
Bye, Mom.
All I hear are screams. Every time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who died. Nothing's what it seems. But in the underworld, your past is always close behind. Your past is always close
the prophet.
behind. Down in the underworld.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying. I just feel so much for this character. He's gone through so much. And sure, like he has a lot of faults. And that doesn't matter to me. Like at the core, it doesn't matter if his motivation to get home is selfish. It doesn't matter whether or not it's actually love or if it's just control. He's someone who's hurting so bad and is desperately trying to outrun that, and no matter how fast he runs, it's going to catch up because he's not processing what's happening. Every time there's been an opportunity to process, every time there's been an opportunity to do something about it, he's relied on his wit and found a way to take action and keep moving. He hasn't slowed down, and now he's being forced to slow down. And he's just, in so many ways, he's not the person that he was back when he left Penelope and Telemachus, I bet. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, this is embarrassing. Oh, next song. This animatic was Brit Pow Pixel, by the way. Next animatic is Himina Nutcell, I think, or Zimina. I don't know. No Longer You. So we found the prophet. I'm going to expect it's going to be a prophecy, or I expect in how he's talking, there's going to be a lot of significance. So if I start feeling like he's saying some kind of prophecy, I think I'm going to let it all play through and then go back and dissect it.
With the answers you seek, time I've unlocked it. I see past and future running free. There is a world where I help you get home, but that's not a world I know.
Why?
I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you try a final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Let's go through that one more time, and I'm going to actually pause this time and break it down. This is emotional. Oh my gosh.
Time I've unlocked it. I see past and future running free. There is a world where I help you get home, but that's not a world I know.
What?
I don't think he's saying that he's not going to help Odysseus. Maybe he is. I think what he's saying is he can't help Odysseus. Not that he can't get him out of here. Not that he can't point him in the right direction. But home isn't just home for Odysseus. Home is this idea of going back to how things used to be before the baby, before he had to kill that baby. How things used to be before things happened with Polites. And that, I think that's what the prophet's saying here is, no matter what I do, you're chasing after a dream and you're not going to reach that. That's how I heard it, at least. All right, let's break down this prophecy.
I see a song of past romance.
A song of past romance. Okay. I wish I had subtitles so I knew if that was past, P-A-S-S-E-D, as in something that's already come and gone, or P-A-S-T, as in something that's in his past. I think it's the second one. See a song of past romance. So, hearing this song, this performance about him and Penelope, which he's been using as, if you're familiar with Newsies, the musical, this is like, Penelope is Odysseus's Santa Fe, this destination that's been dreamed up, and it's become a performance in a lot of ways, even though I really, 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 really think he loves her.
I see the sacrifice of man.
Don't like
I
that.
see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand.
Eurylochus is his brother-in-law. Portrayals of betrayal. There's going to be a mutiny. It's been leading to that. Oh, it's been leading to that for so long. There's going to be a mutiny. And Eurylochus is going to die. Ah, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I see you on the brink of death. I see you try a final breath. I see
he
a
gonna die?
man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
No, that's not what I mean, yes. He's saying it in a way that makes it sound like he's going to die before he reaches home. But I don't think that's what he's actually saying. I think he's saying that this version of Odysseus, who he thinks he's going back as, is gone. That version of him is dead and has drawn his final breath. And no matter what he does, even with all the powers of this prophet, he's not going to be able to get back what he's looking for.
This can't be. We've suffered and sailed through the toughest of hells. Now you tell us our efforts for nothing. I see your palace covered in red, faces of men who had long believed you're dead. I see your wife with a man who is haunting, a man with a trail of bodies. Who?
Okay. I think Odysseus is that man. I think he makes it home. And he's haunted by everything that's happened. He leaves a trail of bodies behind him. And I think there's going to be an intentionality behind it that there hasn't been. But look at how angry and possessive, and just listen to the performance he is once it's implied that Penelope is going to be with someone else, which would be totally reasonable after 10 or 12 years, however long it's been, to have moved on with your life. But he's so angry and possessive because that's his last chance at who he used to be. Penelope is this ideal he has. She's this ideal he has of who he could be and what he could return to. And knowing that's threatened, I think is more painful and threatening than the slight on his marriage that infidelity would be.
See a song of past romance. I see this with a trail of bodies. Who? I see a song of past
Sacrifice of man. Okay. Let me hear this one more time.
Song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man.
Everything is having a double meaning here, and my gut is saying that men are going to sacrifice themselves for Odysseus, but that's too surface level. I think that Odysseus is going to sacrifice men with the mutiny, and Eurylochus is going to die. There's going to be a mutiny. Odysseus is going to sacrifice it. I can't handle that if that happens.
I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you try your final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive.
See,
But it's no longer you.
so he does get to make it home alive, but he's just a changed person. He's been... I'm choking up. He's been changed by everything that he's gone through. And so it's impossible for him to get home, no matter what this prophet does. It's not that he's unwilling to help, because listen to how much he told him. It's that no matter how much he helps, he can't undo the fact that this trauma has changed and corrupted and distorted who he used to be. And I think that there's an element of him that's always been this selfish person, but it's just been aggravated and made so much worse with everything that's happened. Sorry, I'm pausing so much less and having a lot less to say because oh my gosh. Okay, last in the saga. Who's that? Eurylochus. Eurylochus found him after his meeting with a prophet. Last in the saga is Monster, and this is by Gigi. My hunch is that this is tying back into the when does a man become a monster? And because this is our midpoint song, I think he's doubling down and fully embracing the monster identity. Oh my gosh. Okay.
How has everything been turned against us?
That's telling framing kind of a victim mentality, which isn't like him. He's really feeling it. No, actually it is like him. He deflects a lot.
How did suffering become so endless? How am I to reunite with my estranged? Do I need to change?
He can't. No matter what he does, no matter what he's about to say, he can't confront what's happened. He's going to double down. Damn it. He's going to double down and say, when does a man become a monster? It's now. I'm the monster. And it's going to be a self-deflection, like the ultimate self-deflection. He's going to portray it as, fine, you all want me to be bad, I'm going to be bad. I'm going to give in and become what I have to become in order to survive. But I think in doing so, he's going to create this character of a man becoming a monster and hide inside of that and come out of this midpoint changing. But that change isn't that he's become a monster. It's that he's incredibly broken and he's more self-deceived than he's ever been in the whole story. Maybe I'm totally off base, but I don't think I am. This feels like it's been so carefully set up.
I'm surrounded by the souls of those I've lost. I'm the only one whose line I haven't crossed.
More deification. Because he talked about Athena said, you've crossed the line. Poseidon said, but damn, you crossed the line. And now he's saying he's the only one left whose line he hasn't crossed. he's not only painting this as very black and white, but that's also a very subtle deification personality trait coming through.
What if the greatest threat we'll find across the sea
Poseidon
is me?
Oh.
What if I'm the monster? What if I'm in the wrong?
Poseidon's last words, or some of them, were, "I'm the monster who always draws near." And when he talks about the greatest threat across the sea is me, is him, and then goes on reflecting that monster phrasing, that's more parallel between Odysseus and Poseidon.
Find across the sea is me. What if I'm the monster? What if I'm in the wrong? What if I'm the problem?
So he's still questioning.
Hiding all along. What if I'm the one who killed you? Every time I cave to guilt. What if I've been far too?
Is he talking to himself? What if I'm the one who killed you
I'm
every
the problem that's been hiding all along. What if I'm the one who killed you? Every time I cave to guilt. What if I've been far too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves?
Whoa. Okay, what if I've been too kind to foes and a monster to ourselves? He's questioning things right now, and he's doing things in a way that's... This is the closest his past has ever been to him, where it's caught up. Also, this is so creative. This animation and the duality of it is so cool. That's just so cool.
One who killed you. Every time I cave to guilt. What if I've been far too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves? What if I'm the monster? Is the Cyclops?
Poseidon said he's the monster. What if I'm Poseidon? In some ways is what he's saying here. What if I'm willing to go that far and do what Poseidon's done?
Monster. Is the Cyclops struck with guilt when he kills? Is he up in the middle of the night? Or does he end my men to avenge his friend and then sleep knowing he has done it right? When the witch turns men to pigs to protect her nymphs, is she going insane? Or did she learn to be colder when she got older and now she saves them the pain?
So he's listing off other monsters as a way to try and justify these questions that he's had. But this is what's so sad about it, is I doubt that the Cyclops gave it any second thought. I doubt Cersei would have given it a second thought if Odysseus hadn't intervened. And that's what separates Odysseus through them, is he's been carrying this around. He's still asking the questions. So he's not... I think he's going to tell himself he's the monster, but he's not, by sheer nature of the fact that he's still having these questions.
When a god comes down and makes a fleet drown, is he scared that he's doing something wrong? Or does he keep us in check so we must respect him and now no one dares to piss him off?
Piss him off coming back.
Does a soldier use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is vile? Or
Oh, so after listing all these other monsters or monstrous things, he brings himself into it. He's still questioning. There's still so much humanity there. He's been grappling with, am I a monster this whole time? And yeah, he's a bit of a dick, but he's not a monster.
use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is vile? Or does he throw away his remorse and save more lives with guile? If I became the monster and threw that guilt away, would that make us stronger? Would it keep our foes at bay? If I became the monster to everyone but us and made sure we got home again, who would care if we're unjust?
Okay, this is, it seems like, what if I do what I have to do? What if I do what's been forced on me? This is the easy way out. But this is just one more, it feels like we're seeing his true self, like he's taking all his armor off, but he's putting up a bigger shield than he's had this entire story in the form of this monster. Oh my gosh. What's the lyric? If I became the monster and threw that guilt away, you can't just throw guilt away. That's not how it works. But you can tell yourself you do and hide in this character of the monster. That's going to be how the song ends, I bet, is he's going to fully embrace that he's the monster. Because he can't feel that guilt anymore. It's been years. It's been years and he just can't carry it around. It's killing him. He was so close to being home, so close to being back with Penelope and Telemachus. And then he let his guard down for 1 minute and it all got ripped away from him. Oh my gosh, okay.
Threw that guilt away. Would that make us stronger? Would it keep our foes at bay? If I became the monster to everyone but us, and made sure we got home again, who would care?
This animation is stunning.
If I became the oh, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
Yeah. What if I become Poseidon? Again, there's that mirror between Poseidon and Odysseus.
And deep down I know this well. I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone. This can't go on, I must get to see Penelope and Telemachus. So if we must sail through dangerous oceans and beaches, I'll go where Poseidon won't reach us. And if I gotta drop another infant from a wall in an instant so we all don't die, then I'll become the monster. I will deal the blow, and I'll become the monster like none they've ever known. So what if I'm the monster lurking deep below? I must become the monster, and then we'll make it home.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm crying. Okay. Let's break this down. There's a lot here in the animatic. I'm just going to say this animatic is incredible. There's so much I could comment on in its symbolism, and it feels experimental in a really good way. Like whatever they were experimenting with worked. It really, really, really worked. I'm going to try to just focus on the story because there's so much to unpack here, and the midpoint, which is what this is one of the most impactful moments of a story that changes everything. And I feel like this is the midpoint's midpoint. Like this is the climax of the midpoint is what I mean.
Everyone but us.
Oh my gosh.
Sure we
Okay.
got home again. Who would care if we're unjust? If I became the oh, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. And deep down I know this well. I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone. This can't go on, I must get to see Penelope and
So he lists all of those things. Okay. For anyone who thinks this is a love story more than it's a trauma story, look at the order he lists this in. He's listing his traumas, and then he looks at his goal before he looks at, rather than thinking of Penelope first, he's thinking of all this pain that he's going through, and then he looks at the one thing that's anchoring him, which is the idea of Penelope.
Telemachus, so if we must sail through dangerous oceans and beaches, I'll go where
So, Cersei warned him that things were going to be dangerous. And I said, last reaction, I don't think something being dangerous is going to be off-putting to him because he's worried about that control. He's worried about losing this one tether that he has more than he is actually losing his life. And I imagine in some ways losing his life would be a relief. But I think he would fight against it. Not because he thinks he deserves life or he wants to stay alive, but because he has to get home to see Penelope. And even though I do think he loves her, I think the key is he wants to know that he's still the same person inside, that he's not this monster.
we must sail through dangerous oceans and beaches, I'll go where Poseidon won't reach us. And if I gotta drop another infant from a wall in an instant so we all don't die,
That's how I know this is him putting on a persona. Is this traumatized him so bad, and at the music's building up. I think at what the absolute peak of the song is, leading into it, is his core trauma, the thing that hurt him and started all of this going. Oh my gosh. This is him putting it all out there so that he can take on this persona.
Then I'll become the monster. I will deal the blow.
This animatic.
I'll become the monster like none they've ever known.
Just,
So what if I-
this is hard to say, but just ignore the lyrics for 1 minute and just appreciate this animatic, because holy crap. Look at this. The symbolism, the way it's shot, and the way it flows. This is absolutely incredible. I've worked with, I think, over 40 animators on YouTube, and this is seriously top tier stuff.
monster, I will deal the blow, and I'll become the monster like none they've ever known. So what if I'm the monster? And I'll
Okay, I'll become a monster like none they've ever known. He's not just wanting to become Poseidon, but he's wanting to go past that. He's wanting to fully embrace that, because that's easier than having to face the reality that who he is impossible to find again. He's saying, I'm going to become this monster character so that I can get home, but the person who gets home isn't him. No matter what he does, it's not happening. And so that's the tragedy of this, is this very doubling down is the exact reason, or part of the reason, why he's never going to make it home, even if physically he does.
become the monster like none they've ever known.
Oh my gosh.
What if I'm the monster lurking deep
Lurking deep.
below?
Poseidon.
I must become the monster, and then we'll make it home. Penelope,
Again, he's using Penelope as an anchor after going through all these traumatic things. Oh, that headband. That was from Polites, and she ripped it off. Oh, Gigi. That's so smart. That is so smart. Showing him shedding that part of Polites' philosophy visually. That is so smart. I am so incredibly impressed with this animator. Like, I'm absolutely floored. Yep, and becoming more like Poseidon.
I'll become the monster.
And notice he's saying, I'll become the monster, rather than I am the monster, or I've been a monster. He's saying it's something he's willing to do. He's willing to take on this persona, but he isn't using that to talk about what he's already done. He's still... Oh my gosh. Okay, so it feels like he's finally confronted his past, and like he's walked away from it hurt and hardened. But what actually happened is the past got close to him, and he doubled down into this self-deception, and he's become more... He put up more shields than he's ever had before. And I think going forward, he's going to be more ruthless than ever, and he's going to justify it. My hint is he's going to do something ruthless, then he's going to say, but Penelope. And then he's going to do something ruthless and say, but Penelope, rather than it being in any other order. Wow. This character is masterfully made.
I became the monster.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Underworld Saga, halfway through the musical, I was right about a lot of things. The symbolism between Odysseus becoming Poseidon, and I think bettering Poseidon, or becoming better than Poseidon even, is what he's wanting to do, is astounding. This was... I think this was the best animatic I've seen. Actually, this was just one of the best animatics I've seen, like, outside of just this project. This was incredible. And this whole saga, oh my gosh, I just, like, this character is so flawed. He is so, he makes bad decisions. Like I said, I think it would have been in character for him to cheat on his wife last saga. But I feel so much for him. He's just, this isn't a love story. This is a trauma story. This is someone who's been shaped and hurt and shattered and just broken by all these things that keep happening to him. And he's trying his best to hold on, and men are looking up to him, and he just can't. And he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have the tools to know what to do. So he's trying to power through it. He's trying to just push through and be strong. But he reached a breaking point. And that breaking point was the saga. And rather than actually confronting it, what he did is he took all of those broken pieces, shoved them in his pocket, and put on a suit of armor, and called that armor a monster. And I think he's going to hide behind that the rest of the, or taking us up to the end, basically. I think looking at this musical up till this point, it would be very easy to just watch this at speed and see Odysseus as a tragic hero who really changed here, like right here. But I think this is who he's always been. He's not a monster, and I think he's going to do monstrous things, but he still has those questions. And that's what separates him. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Genuinely, absolutely stunning. I need to sit on this for a while. Wow, this was so good. And again, this animatic, I can't get over it. I wish I could have worked with this person back when I was doing my animation YouTube channel, Smash Bracket, for storyboards or something. Because their framing and their creativity and the visual storytelling and the energy and just everything about this is absolutely masterful. I am completely blown away. I think this is my favorite musical. Wow. Anyway, I won't rant any longer. If you all want to see my work, it's going to be coming in a few months, and I have a fantasy revenge story of my own. I talked about it at the beginning of this video. I gotta go just take this in, and I will see you all in the next one. Oh, it finally made me cry.